Well, welcome everyone. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here today. What a great day it is. You know, when you're in politics, when you're in governance, there are good days and there are bad days. You know, the bad days are when there's a problem, some kind of a conundrum, some problem that you just can't solve, or some issue that no one's happy with. But days like today are the days that you really celebrate. Today, no one's going to find fault with what we're doing today. We're going to cut the ribbon on 6.2 miles of trails, of a walking path and a biking path that will let you go from the Theo Bars Bridge all the way to Floribama. It's going to add connectivity to this part of District 1 that we've never had before. I'm so excited. There were so many people. I mean, I got a list of people I got to thank. But I just want to say, for those of you that are here, and those of you who will be able to make use of this beautiful facility, it's just a amenity that you can't believe. And you know, this is the latest in a string in District 1 that we've had. Over the last several weeks, we've opened a brand new fire station. We've completed the acquisition and the property transfer of the United States Navy to get a new piece of property for another brand new fire station in District 1. This one on Bower Road. It's going to serve the Paradise Beach community. We opened a world-class boat ramp just about a month ago. If you haven't been there yet, it's on Lillian Highway at Lower Perdido Bay. It was a 10-year project. Another great amenity for District 1. So we're just racking them up. Next month, we'll probably do groundbreaking for the new fire station. So lots of great stuff, lots of positive stuff going on. But we stand on the shoulders of giants. Tim Day is a rock star. Let's give it up for Tim Day. I mean, everyone here knows Tim Day. From Hurricane Ivan, trying to figure out the beach dunes and the beach mouse and all the plant species and the habitat. I mean, nothing happens in Perdido Key without him having something to do with it. So Chips Kirschenfeld, let's give it up for Chips. Chips is Tim's boss. And last but not least, you know, when you have a large organization, a large county, you got 5 commissioners, there's got to be someone in leadership kind of hold it all together. And you can't miss him today with his jacket. You just can't. This is Wes Marino. Give it up for him. Yeah, look, you know, when you're in this position, there will never be a shortage of crises, problems, issues. There's never enough money to do everything that you want. But if you have good staff members like these here that are here today and that assisted with this project, there's nothing that you can't do in this community. There really isn't. There's nothing we can't do. The possibilities are limitless, and there's so much more positive, good stuff happening. But before we get too far into it, I want to go through and I want to thank some people that are here, and I want to recognize them. First of all, Shavers Construction worked really hard on this project. Who's here from Shavers? Raise your hand. Is Ryan here by chance? Don't see him. Who's here from Shavers? Anyone? I was going to give him some props. Okay, well, hey, thanks to Shavers Construction. Ryan Shavers, great job. All right, DRM, PR engineers, Erica Jernigan, is she here? Okay, Mike Beck, project manager. Hey, Mike, give it up for Mike. Vernon Borders and Justin Lynn, inspectors on the project. Thank you very much. American Engineering, our design engineer was Tracy Bowell. Is Tracy here? No, Tracy's not here. County staff, of course, none of this happens without project managers on top of it every step of the way. John Rosenau and Samantha Pitts, are they here? Well, this was a 2-phase project. Obviously, we did the part from the Alabama border going eastward, and then we had to finish it from there all the way back to the bridge. But we're done now. I think we might have some planting, just some minor things done. But we're going to cut the ribbon today. It's going to open. And I'll tell you what, I can't overemphasize how important this is to this community, and I'm very, very proud. There's some folks here that have also been instrumental, and I would be remiss if I did not thank Tammy Thoreau from the Greater Perdido Chamber. And if you are a member of the Perdido Key Chamber of Commerce, raise your hand so you can be recognized. Thank you very much. Absolutely. Well, I'm not one for long ceremonies, but I would have been remiss not to mention everyone here, the staff, David Giroux. I want to thank Casey Lagarde, all the other staff members that are here. Chris Phillips, that guy right there. I'll tell you what, Chris Phillips is our traffic engineer. So guess who gets the call when I get a call about the roundabout? Take a guess. I got his number on speed dial. I think I might even have it memorized, which is crazy. When there's issues with Sorrento Road coming right before you get to Inter-Area, those cones, who do you think gets the call? He does. I mean, the 4-lane project, he gets the calls. He gets calls, and that's just for me. He's got the rest of the commissioners calling too. So, Chris Phillips, thank you for always getting it done. Appreciate it. Without further ado, I want to bring up the rock star of this organization, the guy that takes the calls on the weekends, the guy that's got to keep us informed, the guy that herds all the cats, makes it all work, gets the budget put together, takes a lot of attacks, and he just comes in smiling. He's just the most mild-mannered guy, a great leader. Give it up for Wes Moreno. Wes, welcome.
Good to be here today. What a great project we have out here. Jeff stole a lot of my thunder. We've been on a ribbon cutting tour. He mentioned some of those projects, but we cut a ribbon on Longleaf Creek Drive. They're opening the bridge. We also did a big drainage project, sidewalk project there. He mentioned the boat ramp, the firehouse, and a lot of research that Virginia Bay Country Club Estates has been accomplished. And the Galvez boat ramp, and we have the Galvez Park. Just a lot of good work's been going on in District 1 and out here on the Key and in the area. And really, that's the part of my job that I like. This is the most enjoyable part of my job, that we can turn around and see the amenities that we've built and the changes been made in the community, the betterment of the community, because we do these projects. And it's a great part. It's a great feeling to be a part of that. Jeff, I will say something. I did hear a little story the other day, reminded me of maybe a politician.
Great. Here it comes, man. Here it comes.
So a clergyman and a politician, they pass away about the same time. They find themselves at the pearly gates. And here comes St. Peter, and he does his formalities, and he says, y'all come with me, and I'll take you to your quarters. So they're going along, and he stops at the first door, and there's a small room with a bed and a table and a chair. And he tells the clergyman, he says, these are your quarters. Well, now the politician's a little worried. He says, well, that's the holy man. What am I going to get? So he takes him a little further on, and he stops in front of a big mansion. And St. Peter says, these will be your quarters. And the politician's like, well, I don't understand. How does this holy clergyman just get a little room, and I get this big mansion? He said, well, you got to understand how things are done up here. He said, we have thousands and thousands of clergymen. You're the first politician that ever made it. But it is great to be here today. I have Chips here. He can speak a lot to the environmental portion of the project, and I'm going to bring him up.
Good day. What a wonderful day here on Perdido Key. I know the community is very, very proud and happy to have this multi-use path open. As we were driving in today, we saw several people walking on it, even in this heat. So that's a good sign that it's being used. In addition to all the people that Commissioner Burgash recognized and welcomed, I also wanted to welcome our federal and state partners that are here today. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is here today. They've been very instrumental in the Habitat Conservation Plan and showing that you can have economic development and environmental protection at the same time. You don't have to choose one or the other. We also have representatives from the state of Florida, from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. They've been very instrumental in funding for Beach Access Number 4 right down the street. So we're glad that they're here today. The multi-use path funding, most of it came from the Deepwater Horizon oil spill, a tragedy where 11 people lost their lives. And we in this community were impacted environmentally as well as economically. So there is funding that has come directly to Escambia County for projects like this multi-use path that compensate for that economic and environmental damage that was done. So this $5.5 million project was mostly funded by funds from that Deepwater Horizon oil spill. But I want to thank everybody for coming today. It's a great turnout. Commissioner Burgash, glad that you're supporting so many of these projects. and West Marino, big supporter of all of these restore projects that come about from that Deepwater Horizon oil spill. So thank you for being here today, and enjoy the multi-use path.
And I was remiss. I also I want to recognize other folks that are here as well. There's just so many people. As I sat down, I was able to look around the room. I want to recognize Visit Pensacola. Darren Schaefer is here today. Welcome. Also want to recognize Charles Krupnick of the PKA. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Charles. You know, the weatherman was talking about the rain, and it was chance, and I was driving down here, even got a few sprinkles. I was like, man, got it. But look, as you look out there, it's perfect. Look, Chamber of Commerce weather, right, Tammy? Thank you, Tammy. Thank you for that. But before we go out there and cut that ribbon, it's so exciting. But because Chips is here, and since we're in Perdido Key, I thought it would be a good opportunity just to kind of tease, kind of introduce another project that we're working on. You know which one this is. If you look out right outside, right off the shore from your restaurant, Mr. Bazell, there's a series of small little stubs that used to be islands. We're going to fill those in with sand. We've got a project. It's an environmental project. It's a hurricane remediation project. It's been on the books since 2013. It was scuttled for reasons, well, I won't get into it because this is a happy day today. But someone previous to me didn't like it for different reasons. But we're bringing it back. We just funded $200,000. It's called the Sunset Islands Project. It's coming. It's going to be an incredible amenity for the boaters. It's going to make that island big enough to hold 100 boats. Chips, tell them about the environmental benefits of that project and what we're doing to get it going.
Sure. Those islands that Commissioner Burgash is referring to are old spoil islands from the original dredging of the Intercoastal Waterway there off the eastern end of Ono Island. And over time, with sea level rise and erosion from boat wakes and storms, those islands have pretty much diminished to just a small footprint of what they used to be. We've been talking to the Corps of Engineers, who currently use a dredged material disposal site behind houses along the Intercoastal Waterway. We've been talking to them about transferring the dredged material disposal site to these islands, which were originally used as spoil islands for dredged material. And they are receptive to the idea. So we are working on changing the permit with the Florida Department of Environmental Protection to designate this area as the next place that those dredged materials will be disposed of instead of behind the houses along the Intercoastal Waterway. The benefits are, with a larger footprint and larger islands, we'll be able to plant emergent marsh vegetation. We'll be able to restore seagrasses, submerged vegetation. And as Commissioner Burgash mentioned, when there is a hurricane sometime in the future, many years from now, many years, that deposition of dredged material can be pumped over to Perdido Key if we need to, in an emergency, restore the beaches over here. So it's an environmental project, it's a resilience project, preparing for future events that may occur.
Thank you, Chips. Mm-hmm. Doesn't that sound like an exciting project? My very good friend Sava Verrazzo, many of you probably know him. He's lived here 655 years, but the greatest guy in the world, used to work with us in the county in the environmental division, told me about the project one day, and I happened to be out in Perdido Key and looking out on those islands, and he said, I don't know what happened. We had this lined up, it was ready to go. And I said, well, let's bring it back. And that's what we're gonna do, because it'll be great, and I think it'll save us a ton of money too when we have to move that material after a hurricane. But more importantly, it'll enhance the quality of life, it'll help the environment. It's a win-win project. So what was it, 200 grand that we just put into that? Yes. Yeah. So we're gonna get that thing going, we're gonna watch for it. So I wanna give the opportunity to speak. Michelle couldn't make it. Trevor Huff, you're here today. Michelle couldn't make it. Would you like to come up and say some words on behalf of Michelle Salzman, the state rep? No, sure, okay, good. You gotta learn, you always take the opportunity, believe me. You never know when it's gonna end.
Yeah, I just like to say that the representative really enjoys working with the commissioners, especially with the different projects, and she's just really enjoyed really being a full support of the commissioners and just the projects that we've been working on, they've been working on. As we gear up for the next upcoming session, you know, we're being careful. Obviously, we don't get ahead of the gun. We got to wait for elections, but it's really just a unique opportunity to really just invest in the community, as well as the countless hours that the representative, as well as her staff, have put into reaching out to the constituents. And so part of that is we've been trying to get better at contacting local organizations, especially about projects, potholes, streets, even funding for projects. We're always willing, and we try to get funding back to Escambia County. And so representative is just glad to be a part of whatever projects the commission is excited about, as well as potential statutes that could change to better help our community. So that's all I have to say.
Right on, Trevor. Thank you. And I would be remiss if I did not recognize the icon of Perdido Key, one of the co-owners of the Floribama Lounge. Pat McClellan is here today. Welcome, Pat. Debbie Bowers is here. I'm sorry, there's other people I'm going to forget. We got people coming in. This guy looks important. I don't know. Hope he's not looking for me. All right. Tammy Thoreau, come on up. Come on down. Give some words from the chamber.
Thank you. I wasn't really expecting to do this. You could have given me a heads up. No. But I want to welcome y'all and thank everyone who was a participant in getting this sidewalk together. I know it was part of Perdido Key's master plan, and it's actually been a lot of fun watching this sidewalk be built. And they build a section and people would go up that far. The next week there would be another section. People would go up that far. But I mean, it's truly, if you build it, they will come. And they have, it's used. So I think it's great for our tourism partners through this area. Darren, I know you're really happy about this in this area because it makes it more walkable, but it is truly a gift to this community, and we really appreciate everyone's help. So thank you for your support for Perdido Key. Thank you, Jeff.
All right, I am looking through my notes. I think I got, Vicki Campbell. Did Vicki Campbell make it? I didn't see her. Nope, okay, I was gonna recognize her. Yes, sir. Brett Boylan, Shavers. Oh, come on up, Brett Boylan. Come on, man, come. Okay, all right, well, I appreciate because we introduced you earlier before you got here, so please express my thanks to Ryan and the team from Shavers. It's an exceptional project out there. It's going to be there for years. And by the way, while I have the mic, as you can tell, I love it. Shavers Construction, they do a lot of projects for the county. And you know, recently some people had some things to say or whatever, but I can tell you this: the county puts a lot of projects out, and they're low bid projects. And these guys are community members, 150 employees from our community that work here in Escambia County. And when they win a bid, they save the county taxpayers millions and millions of dollars. So I'm thankful that we have companies like Shavers Construction in our community, saving taxpayers millions of dollars, and more importantly, completing great projects like this one. So give it up for Shavers Construction, small business. Yeah, that's right. All right, my favorite part of the day. Okay, David, keep me straight. So at this point, we are going to get a group and we're gonna head that way. Okay, so for those folks, I'd love to have as many of you in the picture as possible. Citizens that are here, folks, just get behind me and we're gonna cut this ribbon and it's gonna be a great thing. Are you gonna take the camera out there too? Or no, he's got the camera. Okay, so follow me out here, let's do it. Let's do it.